here in America, that the Lord is bringing us to a place where we haven't gone before.
Yeah.
And in Joshua chapter 3, when the children of Israel crossed the river Jordan, he's like, okay, listen, pay attention to the ark. Pay
Yeah.
attention, keep
Come
your
on.
eyes on it. Don't get ahead of it,
Yeah.
but keep your eyes on it and keep a safe, measurable distance, because I need you to watch it,
Yeah.
because you haven't gone this way before. And
Yeah.
so there's been this collective adherence to
Yeah.
remember the basics, remember the
Come
ark,
on.
remember the
Yeah.
presence, remember the voice, because I'm leading you in a way that hasn't been gone before.
Yeah.
So I want to start today's Godcast with a story.
Come
Okay, it's
on,
a
Rick.
2-minute story.
Come on.
All right. Lewis and Clark, back, do a little history lesson, just a
Yeah.
quick little history lesson. When Lewis and Clark, it was early 1800s, during just a little bit after the Louisiana Purchase.
Yeah.
All right. They, the French were the ones who were the bosses of all of central of what's
Yeah.
called North America today.
Yeah.
The French, I mean, they dominated that whole area.
Yeah.
So the Americans, or the colonists, if you will, those in the colonies, as they would go westward, they would have to do trading with,
Yeah.
the French and all that stuff, and what have you. Well, after the Louisiana Purchase, during that whole time, Thomas Jefferson decided, you know what, let me send two of our best explorers to go discover what's all out there, get an idea of what we're in for. When you buy a new house, you always get it
Yeah.
inspected to see what you're getting into.
Right.
And so they would bring their canoes with them, because there was channelways, there's waterways
Yeah.
that would go from the East Coast, and they could navigate up through, up to the Dakotas, where the top edge part of the Louisiana Purchase
Yeah.
was taking place.
Yeah.
And the thought was that they would be able to map out all the riverways, because it's easier to travel by river versus horseback,
Right.
and camel, or not camels, but,
Right.
donkeys or whatever,
Yeah.
And so, especially foot. So
Yeah.
they would navigate these waterways, and when they got to the Rocky Mountains, they were having to go up over these mountains and carrying all this stuff. They were carrying all their heavy burdens, all their stuff,
Yeah.
right? And they're carrying all this stuff. Well, they kept carrying their canoes because they just assumed the road ahead of them is exactly like what's been behind,
Yeah.
waterways and channels. Well, when they got through the Rocky Mountains, there was none. They were like, well, what do we do? Well, you know what? This is slowing us down. We're going to have to bury our canoes. And so, in order to finish the journey to the West Coast, they had to do something. It was embrace a future road that they weren't used to. And they
Yeah.
had to bury their canoes. And I really sense, Jamil, that
Yeah.
in the upcoming days, a lot of churches, a lot of Christians, we're going to have to bury some canoes, because God is bringing us to a place we haven't known this way before. Not that it wasn't ever known, because
Yeah.
nothing's new under the sun,
Right.
but this generation of following Jesus here in America hasn't known this way before.